For the granny square purse, you will need impeccable yarn, medium weight yarn, fruit tropical, variegated pattern. I also have my 5mm crochet hook. This one is from Furl. I do have a video on if you would like to see a little more about these Furls hooks. I also have my Fiskars scissors, which I highly recommend. They're very sharp, easy to use, spring loaded. That's what you'll need to do this project. Let's get into it. First, make a magic circle. And if you don't know how to do that or need a slower demonstration, I will link that below. We're going to do our granny square. I'll show you how to do that in case you don't know how to do it. So I like to start off with a chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. Yarn over, put your hook into the hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. We're going to do that 2 more times so that you have a double crochet cluster, which is 3 double crochets. Here's your second one, and now your third one. I'm going to close the hole up a little bit to make it a little easier to work in. Next, you will do a chain 2, 1 and a 2. Go ahead and do another double crochet cluster, which is 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and a chain 2. Do it 2 more times. Run over, put your hook into the hole. Do another double crochet cluster. 1, 2, 3. You should now have 3 double crochet clusters. 1, 2, 3 with chain 2s in between them. And we do 1 more double crochet cluster. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2. Tighten up the hole in the center by pulling on the yarn end right here. You'll need to weave that in later to secure it, and slip stitch into your very first double crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3, and that's your first double crochet. Let's just slip stitch right into that. On the second round, and for every round, I always turn my work and I chain 1, and the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. It's merely to lift up the stitch a bit, because you're going to go right into that next chain 2 space and do another double crochet cluster. This is going to be your corner space. To every corner, we're going to do a double crochet cluster. 1, 2, and 3, chain 2. And another double crochet cluster. So we do this in every corner space. Double crochet cluster, chain 2, double crochet cluster. I'm just crocheting right over my yarn end. Next, you will go into the next chain 2 space and do another corner, which is double crochet cluster, chain 2, double crochet cluster. I'll meet you at the end of this round, which is round 2. As I finish up round 2, I will slip stitch into that first double crochet, which is this one right here. For round 3, we will turn our work, chain 1, into each of these side spaces, which the sides are between the 2 double crochet clusters from the previous round. Into each of those, right here, you will do a cluster, 3 double crochets, 1, and in round 3, which is where we are, you'll have 1 side space for each side. And you'll have 4 corners. In the corners, you'll do your normal corners, which is double crochet cluster, chain 2, and a double crochet cluster. Then you're going to hit another side. So you have that space that goes between the 2 double crochet clusters from the previous round, and you'll do your double crochet cluster into there. This pattern will repeat itself all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. At the end of round 3, slip stitch into the very first double crochet that you started with. Round 4, you'll turn your work, and you repeat the same exact process. Chain 1, double crochet clusters into each of the side spaces, your corner into each corner. Each round will grow by 1 more space on each side. So now you see you have 2 spaces to put your clusters into. Continue doing this around until you have this large square, and you're going to need a total of 3 squares. Do a total of 11 rounds. Here's your starting one with the magic circle in your first round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Do that 3 times until you have 3 matching pieces. Once you have 3 even granny squares, I steam blocked mine. And what that means is I used my Magic Pro garment steamer, placed them on some mats, and steamed them and flattened them out. It's a very fast and easy way to block your granny squares. I have a video. I will show you that in the description box below. What you'll do next is fold them in half like a triangle. Do that for all 3. Once you have that completed, you will line them up like so. One down the base, one on its side, and one on the other side, like that. There you have it. Next, you're going to join these ends, and then on the back side, the same. These edges. Take a length of your yarn. I took about 2 feet long, and grab your darning needle. Once you do that, thread your needle, grab 2 pieces. I'm going to start at chain 2 corner here and work my way down and then around to the other side. First, starting in the corner, I will just grab a stitch there in the corner and tie this end to secure it. I am going to grab my piece like this and line up my stitches. What you're looking at are these stitches here, and on this side, these stitches here. Look for your first double crochet stitch. It's going to be these 2 right here. With your needle, and you go inside the middle, pull that yarn through, and then the same thing. You'll go the inside, the middle, and pull it through. Start looking like that. I'm going to continue doing that all the way down so that your seam goes all the way down here, around to the back side, up to here. And then you'll do the same thing on this side, where you seam it down, up around the other side. I'll show you again one more time. Put your needle through that one. So then you'll be able to do this several times before having to pull it tight, making it a lot faster of a project. And now you can see better how it's joining together. Continue this all the way around, and I'll meet you when you get done. When you're done, I simply take the chains, the loops from them, and I will knot it so that it has that flat appearance there. At this point, reshape your project. You'll see where my yarn ended. I still have enough to keep going a little bit. What I'm going to do is connect these 2 ends here and start working my way down this way, up around here to finish off in this corner here. Keep going along, and then after this, I'll show you how we do the handle. Connected the sides, so it's more of a seamless little V there. Once you do that, I take the yarn end, knot it, and I'll weave that in later. You can see the join that we use is invisible seam. It's really awesome. You can't even tell it's there really. It's just a really nice looking seam. And in the top here, you have to just angle it so it looks really great. Same on the other side and down at the corners. The key is really just to line up your double crochets with each other and making sure you're picking the right stitches up. Once you do that, we're going to start working on the strap. And what we'll do is attach a strap from one end to the other, but I am going to do the strap separately and then sew that on afterwards. Grab your yarn and your 5mm crochet hook. The first thing you do is make a slip knot. Take your crochet hook, chain up a total of 7 chains. Make sure you keep a loose tension. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Into the second chain from the hook, pull up a loop. Keep your tension loose, remember. Pull up a loop in the next chain, and pull up a loop into every chain all the way down. You'll have a total of 7. Pull up a loop. Loose tension, remember. I always have a problem with tight tension. Count your loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the very first loop, you will yarn over and pull through that first loop only. And now you will yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, go through 2, and yarn over and go through 2. If you look at your project, you'll see that you have these vertical lines here. Go into the second one. So the first one's next to your hook. Go into the second one, like so, and pull up a loop, loose tension, and go into the next vertical line, pull up a loop, go into the next one, and continue this, pulling up a loop all the way down until you have, again, 7 loops on your hook using a loose tension. The last one is right here at the end, sticking out there. Pull up a loop. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops. Yarn over and pull through the first loop. And then yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2, all the way down. I'll show you one more time. Go into that first vertical, pull up a loop. Next one, pull up a loop, pull up a loop. A total of 7 loops on your crochet hook. And your last one is right at the end there. Pull up a loop, and you go through the first loop and then 2 loops all the way back to the start. This is how we're doing the handle. So you continue growing that until it's long enough to be a strap on your bag. As you continue to grow it, it'll turn out to be like this on the right side, and the wrong side, you'll see the bumps. It's almost like knitting, Tunisian crochet. This is what it's going to start looking like. So you can see it kind of as a nice thickness. If you wanted it to be a wider strap, you would start off with more chains than 7. You could do 10 chains if you want an even wider strap. If you wanted it a thinner strap, you could do less, but I would really recommend the 7 chains in the beginning to make this type of strap. And after we do the strap, we will attach it to the ends of our bag. And after that, we're gonna do the finishing touches. So I'll see you when you get done with your handle. Make it as long as you like it to be. As you're single crocheting around, make sure when you go into this loop that you're also picking up this tiny little loop here that's hard to see. So I'm getting this first loop, and I'm going to go around the back here, find that other one, and stick my crochet hook through it as well, and then do your single crochet. That'll help you prevent any sort of large gaps. Go through that top loop, and then you'll have to hunt for that second loop. When you look in the back, it's this one right here. So pick that one up as well. So now you have 2 loops on your hook, and do your single crochet. And see, now you can see there's no big gap on the top. When you come across here, you did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I do a single crochet into each of these rows, which are pretty clearly marked. But instead of just going through this one, which causes that huge gap, we're going to go through it, turn your work around, and find that other loop that you need to go through as well. So now it looks like so. Do your single crochet, and voila, it's going to look so much better that way. We're here at the final step of attaching the handle strap to the bag. I'll put the pointy end about 5 stitches up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the center. That's where I'm going to make sure that it stays. You can add a safety pin or a stitch marker just to make sure you're going to put it in the right spot if you'd like. Take your yarn, grab about 8 inches or so, and you'll start attaching your strap to the bag itself. Now just secure your ends when you've completed, and you'll just tie it to wherever you think makes sense and then weave in the end. I used a total of 2 skeins of the impeccable yarn in the tropical fruit variegated color. Unless you want to do the finishing touches, which is what I'm going to do, is a final layer of crochet around the edges. I'll show you how I do that here. Grab your yarn and make a slip knot, put it onto your crochet hook, attach it wherever you like. I am going to attach it here in the center because I have that piece of yarn there that I will knot it to for extra security. Attach it with a slip knot, chain one, and then as I mentioned, you can tie the two ends together if you need to, or you feel like you should doubly secure it, which I do recommend. Now I'm leaving this long piece here for later because you can add a button for your finishing touches. We'll single crochet into that stitch that you slip stitch into, and go around and do single crochet all the way around your bag. I'll show you what we do when we get towards the handle. I'm here at the first portion of the handle, and you can see where you have this ability to do one more single crochet before you get to the handle. And now you're at that point where it connects. What I'm going to do is single crochet right into the handle and continue up along that strap, the handle, until you get to the next corner. Continue that along, and I'll meet you when you get to the other end of the handle strap. So I'm here coming up to the next side where the strap and the side connect, and I did have to dig into my third skein of yarn. So we may need 3 skeins instead of 2. Look at where it connects and do your other single crochet into that last stitch of the handle and go into the next stitch closest to it on your purse. Now continue around doing single crochet around this edge. And when you get back to the center where you started, you'll fasten off and weave in the ends, and then you'll have to do the other side the same thing. I'm here at the last stitch, and now I will slip stitch to the very first single crochet that I started with right here, and slip stitch and fasten off, and you'll weave in that end. I'll knot it as well to doubly secure it. Go ahead and start doing your other side with single crochet all the way around.